The cats are different. Remember, everything is energy. The dogs rely on smell, but the cats can see things we can't see. They said when they look at you or look at another person, they don't see you first. First they see an energy. Then it forms into a person. And how many of you have watched cats staring at things you can't see? I had a cat that used to do that. We knew we had a ghost in this one house we were living in when my husband was in Vietnam. And he'd sit at the bottom of the steps, staring up the steps with that tail flicking back and forth, like they do when they're watching something. And I'd say, oh, Boots, go catch a mouse or something, stop it. But they can see energy that we can't see. So everything has a little difference about it. But you've all been these things. In between the animals and the plants are the nature spirits, the fairies, the dryads, the gnomes. When I'm in Ireland, they identify with the leprechauns, all the little people, the nature spirits. Their job is to take care of nature, take care of the plants, take care of the animals. You've all been those also. You've all had lives as that. So you can see when I'm doing past life regressions, it's not simple. I never know what's going to come up. And it's exciting because I never know what the client's going to find. But it helps you to realize, take better care of nature because we're all one. We have been part of it. You finally get to the point where you're going to be human. When you have pulled away from the group soul that are animals, and you become an individual and have an individual personality, then you become a human being. Okay, now you're in a human body. You have to be everything. Not just one life. That doesn't cut it. You can't possibly learn everything in one lifetime. You have to be male and female many, many times. And usually when I say that, I've had somebody in the audience, some man usually will say, what do you mean I've always been a man? What would you learn if you had always been one sex throughout eternity on earth? What would you learn? You wouldn't learn very much, would you? There has to be balance. There's always got to be balance. You have to know what is it like to be male and female. This is one of the explanations for homosexuality. They've been one sex too many times. And the ones on the other side say, okay, now it's time for you to change sex. And a lot of times they don't want to. They're comfortable with that sex. Now it's time for you to learn what it's like to be the opposite. So they come in, and there's a lot of confusion because they're not used to being in that female body or that male body. And I think this helps us to understand this better if we know what's really going on. And maybe the next time they come back, they'll be more comfortable with that body. But this is one of the explanations. You have to be everything. You have to be male and female many, many times because you must have balance. Then you have to be rich and poor. And sometimes being rich is not a blessing, it's a curse. Depends on what your other past lives have been, how much karma you've had to figure out. But then you have to live on every continent in the world, every country in the world. You have to be every religion in the world, every race in the world. Now, what does this do to the prejudice and the judgmental things, if you really understood that? Because I've had clients who were very prejudiced against a race or a religion. Okay, guess what happens the next time you come back? How does the law of karma work? You have to be the very thing that you are prejudiced against. That's the way it balances out. This is why it helps us to realize when you really understand the rules and laws of reincarnation, there is no prejudice, there is no judging, because we all have been these things, or we're going to be if we don't watch the way we handle it. I wish the churches would understand these things and teach them because they're valuable lessons for people to know. But you have to be everything. Then, after you've been every religion, every race, every country, you have to be in every situation that is possible. On every side of every coin, of every situation. That's why you can't judge where somebody else is. You don't know where they are in their evolution. And you get people who keep making the same mistakes. They're doing bad things to each other, creating more and more karma. They're not moving forward. But that's where they are. You never know another person's plan, what they came in with. You can't judge them. We just say, well, they're a slow learner. They're in their path of evolution. They haven't reached this point yet. It's not bad and it's not good. It just means they have not got to that point yet.